Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Welcome in. Good morning. What a morning it's been at 9:34 and a little bit of change. C.J. Nasello, it's our daily show, RiverBender.com, Roku TV, and thanks for hanging out as we were getting all the technical stuff going on. But Charter was out yesterday, and every time Charter goes out at night, we always get it in the morning, you know. How you doing, man?
Good. Is my mic working?
Oh, always. Always good to see you, Paul, and being in studio. You had a busy weekend.
Busy? Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fill me in, man. How many doors you knocked?
Right now, since I started knocking, I think June 11th was my first day. I'm right around 1,050.
And and we never really kind of talk about these things, but right off the bat, I mean, it's the Monday that follows one of the biggest announcements in the political world.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people knew or figured it was coming and just from the writing on the wall. But, I mean, we haven't even been a month away from that first debate. It hasn't been a month.
Yeah, it seems like it has, but it hasn't, yeah.
And, we've had a attempted assassination on the former president. The current president drops out of the race. From a local level and just your perspective, even though national's different than local.
Oh, absolutely.
There's still some messaging coming over from your constituents, or I'm sure some thoughts when you're knocking on doors. What are your thoughts just about the national landscape and how it directs to local right now?
A lot of people, I try to stay away from that because I tell people, honestly, whichever one of them wins, it's not going to affect what I do in the county administration building, unless something very, very extreme happens. But for the most part, I'm removed from that. I'm looking at the county's budgets and stuff like that and potential projects, how to use county money. That's basically, we do that and other things on the county board. Not really the national stuff's good. It's glamorous. It's good to talk about and watch your podcast and debate your buddies on Facebook.
Right.
If that's what you're into, but it really doesn't do me any good for what I do. But it comes up though. So to your point, people, they're scared about the temperature. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, it is an assassination attempt. Most reasonable people I've talked to, I haven't talked to anybody at a door who said, I'm glad Trump got assassinated or almost got assassinated. I've seen that stuff online, but it hadn't hit my real life person to person. I know this person that said that. But people, both sides of the aisle, they're like, let's turn the rhetoric down. You call somebody a Nazi and fascist and large group of citizens Nazis and, MAGA extremists are like Nazis. And I just think that it's been going on for about 8 years. I think you're going to push divisions. I was having a talk with some family members last night about how certain divisions in this country have gotten worse. I'm like, one like that when I was a kid. I think it's amplified now. And if certain people see certain things on television or through pop culture or told things, they're going to have an opinion, and then that may not be related to their real life.
Well, and let me follow up with that too, because the primary in the county was pretty hot this time around.
It was.
Everyone was running, and not because people are hateful, but just because everyone wants to get to that finish line.
We want to win. We're putting a lot of time in, and we're drawing this kind of stuff. So you want to compete and work hard.
Well, and now with this, all this happening, and all this political kind of static going on nationally, does it come back to where you guys are having a conversation and maybe just going, you know what, we've all fought hard in the primary. with all the the hot temperatures
Sure.
right now, how hot the water is, do we come together here a little bit more? Have you guys resolved any of those, maybe discrepancies from one of the most, highly contested primaries in quite a long time?
I would think so, yeah. Like if you remember me the first time I was on your show, I said regardless of who wins the primary, I'm going to support the Republican candidate. We've done good in this county. Our personality issues we had, our arguments, the primaries, that's over for me. I mean, given the county over, the Democrats have a totally different vision for what they want in a county than us. So, it's always been, I will support the Republican candidate. I think we have a better vision for the county than the Democrats do.
Well, and right now, just how as we're kind of shaping up going into November, and we're in the end of July, which is just crazy to me to kind of think about. Where are we at right now, and just how your race is going for county board seat, and then everybody else's that you're a part of? I know that we had Jay on. Just as what you're seeing, what's the perspective that you have going into November?
Well, I think it's good. I've had pleasant interactions. Of course, I am going to people's doors, and we have polite conversations. We'll agree to disagree sometimes. Obviously, I've talked to over 1,000 people. They're not all gonna, want to put, they're not all gonna want to put my sign in my. But I've heard some people like, I voted Democrat. I'm going to vote for you. You came and talked to me, or maybe the Democrat party's change. And what I try to tell people is like, local election wise, if you want to vote for a Democrat against Trump, that's one thing. But like in the county, we've had a flat tax levy for 8 years since the Republicans took over. We've increased funding for law enforcement. We have a balanced budget. We have a surplus. What are the Democrats going to do? They're going to cut taxes even more? They're going to flatten levies? Or, the Democrats seem to be pretty on board with the Safety Act and certain things like we want to ban homeless encampments. A lot of townships in the area are doing that. They think it's inhumane not to. And I'm not saying they're bad people for wanting to keep homeless encampments or doing a homeless shelter in every city. I don't think that's the right way to go about solving this problem, because I've lived in Madison County all 46 years of my life. The homelessness wasn't a major issue till recently, I think. I think that's a fair statement, don't you?
Well, especially the last, 6 years, I think.
It's ramped up, yeah.
From my experience just here in town. Just touching on when you're knocking on doors and just talking to some of the folks, do they ever bring up the primaries and just say, any thoughts on just kind of the volume there? Or is
I want to be 110% honest. No.
Really?
And I was surprised that they didn't. It just shows you that people... They pay attention to local politics. They voted who they voted for, and they're kind of going about their business.
That's cool to hear.
I was really caught. And maybe I'll hear it. It's still got some time. Right around 100 days, I think, off the top of my head. So I'm sure I'll hear something, but no, not like I thought. Not so far.
It's surprising to me because normally that's when you'd kind of at least hear some type of grumbling. So, but going back to this encampment. This whole home, I think this Hope House really brought up a lot of conversations in Alton specifically about, the homeless situation. And the thing is, there's always room to have empathy, but it's
absolutely
how do we do it in a way that keeps the public safe, that keeps the, especially in our downtown district when you got folks that are trying to get into work and having some issues, quite a few times a week. Do you have any thoughts about, how you can combat that in a very humane way, a very sympathetic way, because they're still people?
Well, boy, it's hard. That's a tough one. What I will say I do know is making certain things legal that used to be illegal does not make the problem go away.
Really?
Like saying like in homeless and those would be unheard of in most places.
Yeah.
Well, they said hey, they can live on the street, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but there's questions where do they use the bathroom. Some of these people are on drugs, which is awful. The first thing I think we should do is get them off there, but they can't do these things publicly.
Yeah.
And that's all stuff that happens lots of times, not every time, but I think we got to figure out, get to the root problem. If they're homeless, and figure out why, try to get them some help so they can start living a quality, productive life. And some people are just always going to be homeless. We've had homeless people for a while, but the numbers have really ramped up, man.
Well, right.
And I know what doesn't work. Just saying it's okay.
Yeah.
Legalizing something like that. We used to vagrancy for the most part.
Well, and a point that I made too, it kind of just, it wasn't even for or against the argument, because I'm kind of one that likes to hear it all, there's a lot of programs that you guys have in Madison County.
Yeah, to help people. Yeah,
And not saying all of them are perfect.
No.
But, to me, it's like, why aren't we looking a little bit more at those programs? Can we really utilize those or maybe implement them in a way that really starts to combat some of these issues? But you need the
that's kind of where I want to go with it. Let's see what we already have, and
Yeah.
we can plug those in more. And I just don't think that having encampments in cities is good. People living on your streets, your downtowns, your parks. I just don't think that's good, man.
Well, and I don't even think it's
It
necessarily...
makes it hard for everybody. It makes it hard for public safety officers and, kids that used to play in parks might see someone, with shopping carts or all their belongings in there living on a bench. And I didn't see that when I was a kid in Madison County. Did you?
Well, no.
Right.
And one of the thing is, too, to me, it goes more than just homelessness because the encampment ban, I mean, in all reality, it doesn't need to be homeless people. You can just have a bunch of gypsies show up one day and just decide, here's where we're going to hang out for 4 months.
Heck, a frat could throw a party on the wall. Yeah, just encamp, yeah.
So, I
It
mean...
could go a lot of directions.
That's why mine was more of a precedent thing.
Right.
It's not necessarily I'm against homeless. I'm not at all. I mean, it's sad and it's terrible. Well, let's try to help them.
Try to help them, yeah.
But, think about all the other things. Like you said, a frat party for 5 or 6. And it could happen. I mean, the way
it's legal.
that...
Right, they could go pull up in one of our parks and say, get at it,
I mean, I totally... I was one of the few that kind of understood why. And now, are you going forward and just looking back as you're going forward into November... Take me through some of the work that you're proud of just from a county board perspective, because you guys have been working pretty hard the last couple of months.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the tax levy's flat. We all got hit on our tax bill pretty good. So if you look at it, the county tax rate went down.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that. We have a balanced budget and surplus. That's pretty rare nowadays.
That is rare, well, especially for a county your size.
County our size that generates a lot of revenue. Mm-hmm. So we've had a lot of good decision makers all over the county, a lot of elected officials. Obviously, I think the county board's done good. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're getting good projects going. We're providing a lot of services for the community, and we're balancing the budget. Like I said, we backed up law enforcement when the Safety Act passed. They had unfunded mandates come down from the state. Like, these are these new mandates. By the way, we're not giving any money for them. So we needed to help them. We need to back up our law enforcement. Because if you look at how good, like, prosecution rates and how we treat crime in Madison County, our police work great with our state's attorney. If you look at our prosecution rate to Chicago, it's not even close. Ours is much higher. And I don't have to remind you that they have a lot more crime. And I think you can even compare us to St. Louis. I think on certain years, we prosecute actually more felonies than them, or it's close, which is crazy because there's obviously a lot more.
Well,
in
remember,
St. Louis.
Kim Gardner was in office too,
right? But I'm so
well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, they didn't do anything for 2 years or 3 years.
But isn't that amazing to you? Because obviously there's not near the crime in Madison counties there in St. Louis. You would think they'd have an astronomical amount more felonies prosecuted than us.
I worked in the media business whenever she was in office, and it was incredible how many people, how many Democrats hated this woman. I mean, because she did nothing. I mean, it was amazing how little work she did. And now, going back to the safety, because this has been a huge conversation. I mean, for the last, since even before it was implemented and before it was passed, there was rumblings on what this looks like, and now it's here.
Sure.
State's Attorney Hayne has done, in my opinion, a very good job of just working through everything. As a county, how can you guys, when you're going and knocking on doors, I'm sure the Safety Act's brought up very quickly.
It is, yeah.
What's your message to them? Because you can't go
we had a resolution, denouncing it. And most of the all the Republicans voted for it. Mm-hmm. I believe, if I was going to remember the totals correctly, and some Democrats voted, against it too. But like a majority of the Democrats in the county support the Safety Act. They even talk about how great it is. They support the Safety Act, which is crazy to me. Well, legalizing crime doesn't make it go away.
No.
To give you just an idea, we don't have this problem in Madison County. But we have it in St. Louis. Like, I worked in the nightclub industry there for a long time. Mm-hmm. I've just seen the city change a lot. I'm not over there as much anymore, but like I was, on a very prominent street there, and looked like I saw 2 drug deals go down just out in the open. That would never happen. So you're not arresting people for doing stuff doesn't mean it's going away.
Well, and this
Right.
isn't, necessarily my thought at all. And I just
Sure.
want to clarify that. But an argument that I have heard from some of the Democrats
Sure.
about the Safety Act is that maybe the state's attorney or sheriff's, not in Madison County,
Right.
but in other counties, are just kind of using the Safety Act as, well, we had to let them go, and not necessarily going through the procedural work to hold them for that pretrial detention. Just your thought on
Right.
that, because I'm not saying it's correct. It's just an argument that is made about this.
That doesn't happen here.
No, no.
I'm going to give law enforcement the benefit of the doubt. Most law enforcement officials do not want to do something like that.
Right.
They would rather keep, a criminal off the street. That is their job. It makes their job easier. Keeps the public safe. They don't want something bad to happen. Yeah. Something on their hands.
Yeah, no, totally. Just wanted your thoughts, because that is an argument that has been floated.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a big difference between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party in Madison County. Just like the Safety Act, the encampment things. What do you want for quality of life?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be moving up, not down. I don't want to see all this stuff that used to be a crime and no big deal now. I don't want the book thrown at people and ruining their lives, but I just think we're normalizing things we shouldn't.
Well, 100%.
Right.
And why don't we've already been talking for 20 minutes. That's kind of
Wow.
funny to me. Let's do, we got to take our first break of the
Sure.
morning. I know we started late, guys, but why don't we do that now? 9:49, a little bit of change. We'll come back with more of our daily show after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back, 9:51. Little bit of change on this Monday morning. I don't feel like this damn weekend ever ended. I don't think the weekend ever ended.
Crazy time.
Talking to Paul Nicolussi is we're just getting up to November. I mean, we're almost here. It's crazy to think that, in the course of a month, 3 years happened,
We've been living through history for a while now, but it just keeps ramping up. So
well, and as you're kind of knocking on more doors, what does it start to look like for you as you head into August, September? Because I'm sure. Do you have any fundraisers coming up?
yeah, thanks for asking. August 23rd at Old Herald, 5 to 8 p.m. I'm going to have Paul Nicolussi's first annual Great American Bash.
Oh, no.
Yes,
WCW days there.
Yeah, we'll call it that. It's going to be patriotic themed, of course. I love this country. Ann Dorn, the organizer of the Peace March in St. Louis, and a nationally known figure. She's spoken to Republican Convention 2020. She's a Fox News contributor, Newsmax. I'm very, very fortunate to have her as one of my keynote speakers. So, yeah, I'll be having my my first fundraiser. This is going to be an annual thing. If I'm lucky enough to win election, this is just a good time of year to do it. Late August, summer, it's not quite too hot.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about your race because at first,
Sure.
you didn't have anybody going.
Sure. No, I did not.
It seemed like, and you even told me because I said, oh man, you'll be fine. Don't worry
Right.
about it. You said, no, someone's going to get selected. I have no doubt about it. And I
Right.
said, Paul, no. Now someone has. Who's your opponent? And just what are your thoughts about your race and your opponent?
Like I said, it's just a difference in how we want to govern. I'm really not going to go personal. I don't plan on digging up dirt or sending like a negative mailer about her. It's just not something I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give most people a benefit of the doubt that they're a good person and they just want to govern, but differently than me. Everybody's got a family too. You don't want your family seeing bad stuff. Lord knows how I've been attacked, and I've even had people cross lines of going to my immediate family since I've been involved in politics and over what, it's just a difference in governance. I will say the only thing I don't like that she said probably was she's talking about like how Republicans are a step to fascism with banning books and everything. I don't think that language is helpful anymore, especially I was hoping that Trump thing was a wake-up call. We're not fascist here. The Republicans nationwide aren't fascists. I mean, especially in the county. We're hands-off. We're freedom. 2020 was a Republican Party who were speaking out against lockdowns in this county, mandates, mask mandates, making children get forced vaccinations on people. That was a Republican Party going for your freedom. The Democrat Party is trying to shut you down, take away your ability to work, ability to get educated if you didn't get a vaccine. They're wanting to close the county down more, wanting to keep our schools closed. So we're for freedom. We're for the Second Amendment, responsible gun laws. They want to take guns away, but yet who they get their marching orders from in Chicago, they don't want to prosecute crimes at the rate we do. So it's like you have way more crime. You have way more gun crimes, as you call them, gun violence. That's a catchphrase. Mm-hmm. But you don't do anything about it, whereas we do. And you want to take away guns from people who don't break laws, who are law-abiding citizens. But when an actual criminal gets caught with a weapon where he has a mandatory sentence, the judges up in places like Cook County rarely give them the maximum.
Well, and now let me ask you this too, just to follow up with it.
Sure.
Is, someone will say, well, they have 10 times the population in Cook County than we do down here. Is it, number one, is that correct? And does it really go towards volume? Is it a ratio up?
Oh God, I
don't want to put you on the spot on that.
Off the top of my head, I would say it's that, or maybe even more. But if you look at the homicides we have in Madison County compared to the city of Chicago, which we'll just go Madison County, Chicago. Yeah. If you look at our homicides compared to them, it's not close.
Oh, I could, and that's why
per capita, you name it, it's higher.
Interesting. Well, I totally could see that.
And I will tell you this: the large volume of shootings they have, that count would be way higher if we did not have such good medical technology. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about a place that has 4,000 shootings in a year sometimes. Wow. A lot of those lives are saved, thank God, because of our medical technology. But what happens to someone who gets shot up real bad? They handicapped the rest of their life? Or there's all kinds of, I hate to say it, man, there's probably all kinds of sad stories up in Chicago.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Seriously, I couldn't imagine.
And why we're on differences between like me and my opponent or the Democrats, all running in general, they seem to be kind of using a lot of same verbiage, same language. We voted to separate from Chicago. That's what they're saying. But actually, here's what we did. We have a non-binding resolution saying we can talk to other counties who voted to, separate from Chicago, Cook County, and 26 of them, we'd be 27. We can just talk to them. We're not going to separate overnight. We don't have that power. So to me, I didn't really come out for or against it. There's pros and cons both ways, right? All I said was I'm going to let the people vote on it, and then whatever direction they go, that's what I'm going to tell my state rep. Like if it goes down in flames, I'm going to tell my state rep, don't even take this to the House floor.
Yeah.
Don't communicate with these other counties. I think it's over. If it goes overwhelmingly yes, then I'm going to push for it because this is quality of life stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. This isn't a resolution they didn't read or a budget they didn't read. People know if they like their quality of life in Illinois, and if they think a lot of the issues, coming from the Cook County, Chicago area that make it all the way to Springfield are not benefiting their life, their voice needs to be heard. If that's what they say, and if they say we're fine, that they deserve that too. So that I didn't come out strong either way.
Right.
And I'm not going to. All I will tell you is there's reason to say it because we've lost around 220,000 people in 3 years, right? Wow. And then after 2024, I'm sure it's going to be more. I think around $11 billion of reported tax revenue. What we got going is not working. When people are moving out of your state, I think Missouri's population's going up. And the other Midwestern states, their populations are going up. So when you look at something that's failing, you got to call it out.
Well, and you know, and I'm sure this is it's such a fluid thing with this this measure and going and adopting it for the public to vote on. But is there an end game? I mean, do you have an idea of where? Let's say it's an overwhelming yes, and now we are going down this road. I mean, do we have an idea of are we just Illinois Junior? Are we New Indiana? Are we Missouri? What do you know?
There's lots of ways you could go with it. Man, I don't want. I mean,
it's too fluid.
We could go Indiana. I mean, I think there was talk of. I thought Missouri offered to buy us in 2016. Am I right?
I think so.
There's ways we could go there, or we could just make our own state. Those 27 counties make a decent population. We'd be a decent sized state. I'm not going to say it'd be better than Illinois, but
who knows?
We could maybe make whatever because Illinois got a lot of tight regulations, man.
Yeah, big time.
Grand City Steel, I hope it stays over. American Steel, I hope it stays open here. God, forever. That is such a staple in our community, Madison County, the city of Granite. But they were bought by a Japanese company, and they're probably going to move to more favorable business states. I don't want to see that. God, I don't. Wow. My dad worked in that mill lots of times. I remember when I was like summer help there. Before I got out of college. So, I mean, that's got to stay here. But, like, states are going to go. People are going to put businesses, do factories. They're going to do them in business in states favorable to business. Like I work for an energy company that's foreign. They're German. When they bought my company, they started to expand operations in states that with good taxes and business friendly.
Well, and another component I think that's so important and vital to our region is America's Central Port. To me, it's one of the biggest incubators in my opinion. When you see some of these regulations, and everyone's got to be honest, regardless of what side of the aisle, things aren't the most favorable for corporations and for industry, for those type of industries. Is there anything we can do at a county level to entice them to want to stay? Because I mean, you're going apples to oranges because you're going within the confines of what the state allows for too.
There's talking about Chairman Slusser, soon to be Chairman Slusser, has pretty good ideas. You might want to ask him to come on there and see what he had. But there's certain things we can do to county tax breaks.
I'll have to give him a call and get him on next week.
I mean, he had some pretty good ideas how to, and we got to survive within Illinois. And the thing about Illinois, I just want to let people know that we have a carbon tax in this state. Carbon is an element on the periodic table. I think there's 118 last time I checked. We're going to start taxing other elements. I mean, how can you tax an element? It just amazes me.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
You're taxing carbon.
It's a whole nother thing,
right? So I mean, that Illinois, not every state does that. Well, so if you're a company, you're going to open a factory that builds, anything large scale. Oh man, I got to pay a carbon tax here and play games with carbon credits, or I'm going to go to Tennessee, where they don't have to worry about that stuff. So we need to make people come to Illinois, be the destination for that. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Well, and now getting back here to just Madison County and just back here locally, the other day, a couple weeks ago, we all saw the sinkhole just completely take out the soccer fields. Is there anything, after all the investigations are done and everything's done with the mining company, is there anything the county could do right now currently to maybe help find a location for some of these park and rec programs, or maybe help expedite some of the building costs of just trying to move things? Because I mean that's a huge entity within Madison County.
Yeah, what we're going to do in Madison County is we're going to wait and see the investigation when dust settles and not make rash decisions.
Yeah,
we're actually pretty good about that in the county. I've been pretty impressed by that. Like
Very
just
true.
to give you an example, not what you just talked about, but I think it's going to go along those lines. You had the Hope Shelter here in Alton, right? A lot of people were jumping the gun, and they were, wanting to put it in without talking to people in Alton. And I'm going to tell you, I'm an elected official in Madison County. You know how many elected officials in Alton called me and told me to hurry this thing along, or they're for it, the people are behind it? You know how many people told me? How many Alton elected officials? Zero.
Yeah.
To this day, they haven't called me, but I've talked to friends, local business leaders in Alton. They said the people aren't behind it. The city council had their meeting. I don't think it seemed like they weren't behind it either after they talked to their constituents.
Yeah.
And we're still getting pushback like we had some crazy conspiracy theory to stop it. Not the case at all. Sometimes they're just easy as they appear. Why would the Madison County Board get behind spending all this money? What they're talking about is ARPA money, the $2.2 million. I figure it could be wrong. I think that's it. It doesn't have to be spent to 2030. So why would we get behind jumping on that when the people in Alton aren't even behind it? Let's take our time. Let's think. Let's be rational. Once that thing goes up and gets built, we can't unbuild it.
Right.
And move it somewhere. So we're going to do things right. Like the first step is the people of Alton have to be behind this shelter, no matter where it's at, before I even consider moving on it.
Now, if it let's say hypothetically, I don't like to deal in this, but just for the argument, it's
Right.
like if Alton would have said convincingly, yes, let's do it, would there have been any kind of hesitation from you?
Well,
still?
I think we need to talk then.
Yeah,
I would have spoke on the board floor, and I would have talked to my fellow board members, like, guys, what are we going to do here? The city's for it.
Yeah. Okay, that's very fair.
Right.
Very
So
fair.
That completely changes things.
Well, and now as we're talking about things in your district here, we have a couple of minutes, and I always appreciate your time because you are. I don't even give them. We don't give each other questions or thoughts. We just kind of turn the mics on and see what happens. But when you're up in the Collinsville area, there's always some things. I remember the last election cycle, there was a referendum on about the library board in Collinsville. I forgot what specific bill it was.
I'm glad you bring that up. Yeah, we had there's some things going on in the library that the citizens weren't happy about. They changed the library board.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, the new library board, I mean, the activist wing of the Democrat Party really terrorizes them. I got pictures of signs where they called them Nazis and stuff. And I told you about that language. No, they were doing a tax levy. They said they were going to defund the library, which was completely dishonest. I think these activists wanted like 13 to 15% tax levy on the library. Oh. And the president said, no, I think she wanted like 6. They settled for like 8. But there were signs, and I got them. I'll show them to you after this to verify. They were calling them Nazis, bigots. And, man, I'm thinking my grandpa's name's on that brick, at a library. He fought Nazis in World War II, the Third Reich, you know. Some of those, their family members or the board members, they fought in World War II too. So I'm like, this is where we're at. You're calling someone a Nazi. And just the disinformation, they're trying to defund the library. Well, they didn't want a 13% tax levy. That's all. And the vile names they were called. And honestly, the new board, they've invested their money and made some great returns.
Well, it pisses me off. It goes back to what you said
right,
earlier.
They've never banned any books or done all this hateful fascist stuff
But it goes back to both. It goes back to what you hit on earlier so well, is that everybody needs to stop the damn language. Because calling people snowflakes and calling them fascists isn't going to get you across the finish line. It's going about what the meat of the matter is.
Sure. And the thing is, let's talk about when Republicans take a board over for a minute. Like in Godfrey, the tax has been flat, the levy for the last 12 years. Wood River, it's gone down. It's gone down or remained flat for like 14. The St. Louis airport, as soon as we took it over, same kind of effect. In the county, let's talk about the county. We took over 8 years ago. It's been flat. We cut it, and it's been flat since. So what are the Democrats going to do? They're going to raise your tax levies and make life that much better for you when they take money out of your pocket? We already got a lot of money coming out of our pockets through taxes. That's true. No, I mean, I want to get to that.
I get you.
What are they going to do to make the county better? All right, they don't like us. Some of our, personal issues, I guess, they have with us. What on policy don't you like? What can you do to improve Madison County that we haven't done? Because this is a completely different county than it was when we took over.
Well, and that's a good point, Paul. And we've got a couple of minutes left, and that's why I'm glad that I asked you about those services, because that's been my only issue.
And I'm glad you asked me about that library. A lot of people are like, it's just a library, but the way those people have been treated by people who disagree with them, I mean, it's bad. I'm going to show you the signs afterwards. I'm not going to show them online because it's just the way they were treated and attacked. And these women are... in their 60s, man. But I'm just like, and then they were intimidated. There's large people marching and calling them bigots and Nazis on a microphone.
Man. That's terrible.
So, and that happened in Madison County. This wasn't in D.C. This wasn't in some huge city.
Right. But, and on top of that, too, to go back to what, I'm glad you touched on something that's so important, is because my only big frustration with the current county board is, why aren't we using some of these programs or enhancing them to maybe combat some of these issues that are causing infighting in cities? And man, that was a great point that you had. And I hope that more people listen to that, because
Right.
it's not necessarily, because the whole grand scheme of things, let's be honest, there's, you get the Democrats that say, well, Republicans really don't care about, the civil service division of life. They don't care about the funding and programs. But to hear you say that's very good to know. I mean, seriously, 100% love to hear
Well,
that.
and I'll just tell you, too, the library, since we got a new board, their investments went through the roof
Wow.
compared to their old board. So that's more money for the library they can do things with. And you just got to be intellectually honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Were they going to defund the library, take money away? No. They made more money on investments. They just did not want a 15% tax levy. If these Democrats want to run on these huge high tax levies, just come out and say it. That's fine. That's your philosophy of government. Don't attack us. Don't say we're defunding. Don't say we're fascists who want to get rid of things, because we're the complete opposite of fascists. We're very freedom loving.
Paul, what's the best way people can get information on your race?
Well, you can contact me. My Facebook page is out there, Paul Nicolussi for County Board 23. My personal Facebook page is out there. I got like 5,000 friends, probably a lot of your listeners. Go ahead and inbox me. I haven't set up a website yet for my campaign. I think I'm going to. But yeah, I mean, I already got that Facebook page. It has a lot of followers. It's a little over 350.
And if you want Paul and CJ to do a wrestling podcast, send me an email, CJ at RiverBender. That's how I'll know.
And that's coming soon, folks. The one thing I've loved my whole life consistently, how I've entertained myself, is professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I think from the time I was about 6 years old, I made my mom and dad take me to wrestling matches and, watch wrestling with me. My older brother, not a wrestling guy, but he bit the bullet too and watched it with me sometimes growing up. So, yeah, me and CJ, there's a lot to talk about with wrestling. Yeah, there's history, there's current wrestling. So, yeah.
If you want it here on RiverBender, send me an email, CJ at RiverBender. Text the text line. Paul, always good talking to you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, CJ.
10:10, that's the time on this Monday morning. But before we take a quick break, Community Christmas in July is coming to a close. We got 4 days left, and I got tickets I still need to get rid of. If you want to help ensure that every child has that opportunity to experience a true Christmas, having gifts to open, coats to wear, and just feeling like they're a part of something, a part of the community, you can send me an email, CJ at RiverBender.com. Tickets are $10. Margaret and Carrie Freer join us just after this break to talk about it further.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome into this Monday morning. I know I hit you with something cool, didn't I? 10:15, little bit of change. Welcome in, Carrie and Margaret Fisher. Sorry, I'm looking at Gerard Fisher's lower third. I hit him with some news, and I kind of stumbled myself at 10:15. Christmas in July. We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle those pocketbooks all the way to Frere. We need to get more raffle tickets.
That's right.
How did Bakers and Hale go on Sunday?
It was fun. They had a good crowd. Baker and Hale is such a great supporter of this event. Not only do they give us a portion of their sales for the day, but their waitresses have been hawking raffle tickets. So they're going to continue selling until Friday. So I'm excited. They've done very well.
Well, you know, I'm a rookie to the ticket sale game. I'm a rookie. But I figured right off the bat I was feeling so positive. I had so many comments, and I sold all those tickets, and then I realized I wasn't even in the top 5 of ticket sellers. But next year, I still got tickets left, and I wanted to talk about that. I got 48 tickets left that I need sold in the next 4 days.
Right.
That's 10 a day. We can get this done.
You bet. Put it on Facebook.
Well, and at this point in the game, where are we at here? You know, are we now just kind of ready just for Christmas in July?
I'm just kind of nervous. I always get nervous this time of year, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. We still do have raffle tickets available. Mm-hmm. They can stop by the shop. They're available online. Carrie posted her Venmo, so you have tickets.
We all have them, and you can email me or just call Riverbender or just send me a message on Facebook, and we'll get them done. I sold 10 to Linda Pedersen. I think that was my most recent. She got $100 worth, and you can win $3,000, $1,000, or a ton of great vacation spots. And you know, Christmas in July is great because you have the best sloppy joes in town. How long does it run on the 26th?
From 10:30 to 1:30.
Mm-hmm. And then drawing at 1:30?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And now, do you have to be present to win?
No, we generally try to Facebook Live it through the For Auto Body page. So you can.
We got to talk about that. I'm tired of your Facebook Live getting more than mine.
I don't even like to do Facebook Live. I am like so awkward on it. I don't even like to do it. So if you want to come in 1:30, show up and do Facebook Live, you can use my phone and you can be the voice of that because I'm just not that person.
What's your favorite part of this time of the year? Because everyone's been working hard, and it seems like this year's kind of been a little bit tougher for most, just because everything's more expensive right now.
Expensive, yeah.
But it seems like everyone's working 10 times as as hard just to get across the finish line. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we can make it happen if everybody just pitches in. So if your general population is struggling, think about those that are truly underserved every year that are really going to be struggling coming up. So if everybody just pitched in $10, I posted on my Venmo on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and I mean every day somebody hits me up to buy 1 or 2 tickets, which is perfect because that's how you just kind of, it doesn't take one person buying a ton of tickets.
No.
It just if everybody pitch in.
Yeah.
$10
And
here, $20 there.
Everyone is a winner. When they draw at 1:30 Friday, there will be the winners chosen, but anybody that bought a ticket is a winner because you have helped so many people. So
Well, and it goes back. I mean, everyone should have a Christmas.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
Honestly, I think a lot of times people have a bad look on life because they have terrible experiences at the holidays. They didn't have the maybe the family dynamic that
Some people really hate holidays just because of that. They just
Yeah.
had a poorer holidays growing up, and it trickles into adulthood.
And that's what's so neat about this program is every dime of this is donated. Simmons printed the tickets. We donate the food. Everybody sells the raffle tickets. The people that donated the prizes, how very kind. Every penny from this goes to helping people right here in our town.
Well, and that's another huge point about it too. Is it's not going to a national fund. I mean, this is going.
It stays local.
There's no administrative fees.
And sometimes they don't even want toys for their kids. They just want cleaning supplies or their light bill paid. Or
When you told me that, it changed the whole outlook I had on it.
Yeah, it's not just about toys. I mean, some of the agencies, they come and get things that are just necessities that we all probably take for granted every day.
Well, and now in life, I mean, everyone's so close to the danger zone, it seems like, where, I mean, one bad experience, maybe you lose your job in November. I mean, that could lead to some really nasty things, and you never know who's going to be in that position next.
And the families are so appreciative. So appreciative.
Well, and I think what it's cool about it is the way that the event runs, during Christmas time, where it's not pandering. It's not, putting you in this special, room and making you kind of feel like you're different. It's just you feel part of the community the way you guys line that up. And Carrie, what's it like when you're doing the Christmas shopping and going around, after the event's all done with July, but going to get those Christmas presents and handing them out?
It is fun. It's fun to see kind of like what the agencies come in to shop for and the needs of their families. And then, I got to do the Salvation Army shopping last year where the families themselves came in, and the Salvation Army does they do the angel tree, but then when the people come and pick up their things for the angel tree, so they kind of put their name in and they apply for it. They definitely do a background check, make sure that it truly is a family in need. And then they come in, they bag up the things that their wish list basically for their families. And then they set up like a store within the Salvation Army, and each family gets to, I think, pick 2 or 3 additional items, whether it's clothes, shoes, socks, underwear, or a toy for each child. So that's kind of fun because you kind of get to go and see, help the families pick out things, and they are in need, and they are truly grateful for the opportunity to be able to come in and do that. And then they also do a food drive. They give them like food, ham. I think somebody donates a bunch of food, and they put together bags for them. They get that the same day. So,
well, and honestly, just think about the stress relief that does just for that family, even if it's for a couple of weeks. I mean, the biggest infighting comes from a lack of resources,
Right.
Not having enough food to feed the kids or not having enough to, keep the lights on next month.
there's that. But then you also think about, as a parent, you want to give your kid a Christmas, and that stresses out. I mean, I realize toys are not a necessity at all, but they absolutely make the parent feel like they are doing right by their child, because every child, they want to wake up Christmas morning to a few packages underneath the Christmas tree. So
Every parent wants their child to come back January 7th from that first day of school and go, oh my God, they're so excited. Everyone's jealous about that Xbox, or they all want to come, play with me. And now all those things are so important for the health of people mentally too. And that's where I think is such a huge call to action is the mental health relief that this provides is so crucial and invaluable.
Because parents stress at Christmas how they're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And we shop year round, and we have been concentrating this year on teens.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Teenagers are hard. I watched when the Salvation Army, the parents were coming through the line, and they would have like a 12 or a 13-year-old, and it wasn't like there was nothing really a whole lot geared towards teen, because it's easy to go out and pick up baby toys or toddler toys, because those are even fun to shop for.
Right, exactly.
So earbuds and just Bath and Body Works, they have those sales, $3 body sprays. Teenage girls love that kind of stuff. So
the Ingram family has been coming by regularly, and she shops for the teens too. It's been very nice to have her participation this year.
She's kind of focused just on purses. Yeah. Girls like purses, handbags. I mean, just if you're ever out shopping and you see any of that stuff on sale, please pick it up.
Well, and honestly, and even like it, January or spring when the winter gets kind of over with,
go to buy coats. Go to
Pennies, and you can fly in there and get whatever you need.
They put everything on sale.
I've always wondered that, though, with the teenagers. That's good, though, that you guys have really started to hone in on that, too. And now, going forward, can people bring in cleaning supplies or hygienics, or should we just kind of...
Absolutely.
Yes?
We'll take anything that anybody wants to bring in and donate. Somebody's always got a need for it.
That's what I think's so unique about this.
We store everything in the attic until it's needed.
I just think it's so unique that it's such a wide variety of opportunities. It's not just a Toys for Tots drive. I mean, this is truly a necessity drive is what it is. It's so...
And the community comes together. That's what's so beautiful about this event. And, we host it, but the community makes this a success. And speaking of Friday, we're taking to-go orders. You can call the shop, and we will have as many to-go orders ready at your specified time.
John Hendrick, we're going to have to... Actually, I'll be on hand. I'm not ordering out. I'm ordering in.
You better bring John, too.
He's coming.
I can't thank Riverbender enough, too. You guys are great supporters of this event, and we couldn't do it without your support and your getting the word out to the public.
Oh, we just love doing it. I mean, you guys are doing the hard work. We're just, and that's the thing to really note, that this isn't easy. What you guys are doing is not a walk in the park where you just slap a Facebook post together and call it a day.
Have you ever cooked 100 pounds of sloppy joes?
I haven't. I'm barely 100 pounds.
There's that. There's that.
We won't go there.
10:25. You got a moment to stick around.
Sure.
I got to take a quick break, but are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? Life free from addiction is possible, and it starts with my friends at Centerstone. Centerstone's a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages, with a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives. Their dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in those treatment programs, so the recovery care plan is developed for you on the latest science. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be that constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction can happen to anybody, but the good news is, so can recovery. So start working towards it today by going to recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. prices you can trust, and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back, 1029, little bit of change. The Freer's back in studio, and oh my God, let me just point out something. This poppy seed bread is just to die for. I gotta be careful because if I eat it, then I can't do the show. It's a very fine, dangerous game to play. Coming up on Friday, how long can people buy tickets for? Can they buy tickets until that
Till the
day?
drawing?
Oh,
until the drawing at 1:30. Mm-hmm.
So this is good.
Yeah.
As you guys know, if you're tuning in just now, I have 48 tickets left. Okay. So, in the next couple of days, I'm going to be blowing the hell out of all of your phones because I want them all gone. Because think about this. All this goes back to towards the community. And if you could raise, $400, think about it. That could be 2 or 3 kids that were at least getting some stuff for.
You bet.
And how many kids do you guys take care of? Do you know off the top of your head?
Each agency has their own list of families that they...
But it's a lot.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. I mean, how many agencies shopped last year? 8, 10?
Yeah.
So, and then not only do they get money to shop for specific things, but then, we have the drive, the community Christmas drive, and then they get toys and coats and stuff of that nature also.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm ready for my box. I'm ready for my box.
We're going to bring you 2 this year.
Well, we're going to put one in the lobby, one in the studio, so I'm going to double dip on this. We're going to win.
That's so funny.
What makes it special about this event? Is it seeing everyone because what I think is cool personally is the fact you had all these business folks and just individuals alike that are so busy, but just like you all, you make time to really set aside and make this a really successful event. That's my favorite part. For you two, though, what is it?
Go ahead.
Well, I like knowing that we're helping so many people.
Yeah.
But the day of the event, I mean, when COVID hit, we used to have 100 and some odd people there all the time. But then when COVID hit, our crowd dropped off and more people ordered to-go orders. Well, last year we were back to pre-COVID and we loved it. So please come out and eat with us on Friday.
Well, and too, we got some excitement because next year we're going to have a way to get some tickets sold online too. We already worked on that. That's done.
Did, yes.
Oh, I didn't tell you that.
I didn't
Surprise.
Tell you that.
So next year too, we got add-ons.
That's good.
When you're shopping, did you realize the impact you had until you really went and saw that kind of
that was definitely eye-opening to see like the agencies truly benefiting from the fruits of your labor, and it is a community because we just really host it and kind of toss, throw it together. And then, but it wouldn't happen if people didn't sell tickets, buy tickets, or show up to the event. So,
And, I have to give a shout out to Enterprise. We have been partnering with them.
Car rental place?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We have been partnering with them for 33 years now. And they gave us $2,500 in January, and they're giving us another $3,000 for this. So that's a huge donation for this event, and I really appreciate it. And we have other vendors of ours like Ed Morris. They give $2,500. We have big donors, and that's what this is all about. They know how many people that this helps. So
What I think is cool is it's just everyday people too. Like, you know, that's what I think so cool is it makes
and,
it
$5, $10, it adds up, and it will buy something for a child.
Yeah. Well, and you have a chance to even have fun while
win,
you're doing it too.
right.
That's what I think so
and
cool.
it is fun.
It is
fun.
Oh, the day of the event's fun. I mean, especially when people come, they eat, and they enjoy just being there.
And some people look forward to it every year. That's what I love.
Well, I'm feeling really lucky. I don't, the trips are great, but I can never leave here anyway. So I'm ready. I already got my tickets. I bought tickets too, and I'm getting the cash.
Cash. Everybody likes cash. Cash is king.
Cash is king.
Now, how much further do we have in the year? It is about October, November. We see the boxes start showing up.
November.
November.
Yeah, November.
And
usually.
then when can we start preparing for next year? Just so I know it's still we're a year away, but it kind of starts pretty quick, and before we know it, the next year's event's already here.
We haven't had a community Christmas meeting yet. We will probably have one in October and get the dates and everything set out, but it should be early November. We usually have our cookies and cocoa the first Thursday in December.
Really cool. Yeah. And now are the girls going to be in town to serve up sloppy joes?
So Lily will be here, and then Taylor will unfortunately not be here. She is.
It's the first one she's missed, I think.
Yeah,
I bet she's
she
bummed.
kind of dreamed all of this up many years ago, just not on this scale. It's kind of grown over the years. Yeah, she stayed in Waco to get ready for
that's so cool,
MCAT,
though.
take tests and or a
she's
class,
working
and
in a
she's
lab.
working in a lab, and just she has a lot going on this summer.
That's fair then.
Yeah. And we miss her, so I mean,
We do. We'll FaceTime
we
her.
would rather her be here, but we get it.
The FaceTime would have to happen, I think, just to make sure she can virtually show up. Oh, lab.
Yeah.
Well, and then as you're just tuning in, Christmas in July is it Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Man,
Time
4
flies.
days away. 10:30 a.m.
10:30 to 1:30.
And all you can do is just stop by Fur Auto Body, get the best sloppy joes in town, get some more raffle tickets, email me for some, or reach out to Carrie for more.
Yeah, I've got it on my Facebook page with my Venmo.
Yep. And then you can have a chance to win big while you're supporting local. And now, am I forgetting anything?
Cheesecake. We have cheesecake too.
And cheesecake.
If you think that's good.
Well, I can't see. The problem is I got to take another break so I can keep eating. That's the tough part of this job, Am I forgetting anything about the event?
No.
Well, all I know is that you got to reach out to me, CJ at RiverBender.com, email me, or Facebook message me, call me, just not any bad names, buy tickets. And we can make sure.
To-go orders, 466-6151.
And then to-go orders are placed all morning long.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yep. We're rocking and rolling for Christmas in July.
You bet. We're ready.
And we'll see you there this Friday at 10:30 until 1:30. But in the meantime, reach out, get tickets, and help ensure that every child has the opportunity to experience just a great Christmas morning. 10:35, a quick break. We come back with the Village of East Alton next.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back, 1040. A little bit of change on this Monday morning, the 22nd day of July. Gabby and Robin in studio. You know, this is the first time I've talked to you without Tyler.
I know it, right?
Gabby, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
So how long have you been a part of the team?
For about 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts right off the bat? What's it like being with East Alton?
Oh, it's great. I absolutely love it. The things they do for the community is great. We do so much different activities. I came in at a busy time because we had baseball and everything, but it's great. It's got me to learn a lot, and I'm kind of learning everything all at once, but I like it.
No better time to learn it,
No
you know?
better time to learn. So thankful for Robin. Couldn't do it without her. The whole team's been great. Lana, everybody. Just so thankful. I love it.
Well, you guys have had a ton of events the last couple, because I manage the community calendar, and I put everything on there.
Yep.
But Nerf Games was this last Friday, wasn't it?
Yes. We have what's like, we did a summer camp.
Yeah, that's right, too.
Yep, and we did it we got with the library.
Yep, the East Alton Library.
Said we want to come up with some ideas free to the community for the kids, and so coordinated with them and came up with some great ideas.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is kind of a little bit of a softball, but it's a good point to make too. I mean, right now, people are going to the grocery store maybe once a month, because of how expensive things are, and everyone's electric bill is going through the roof. What's it like? Have you had conversations with parents about having this free programming and what it does for them as a family, really?
Oh, yeah.
They love it. They're so thankful. I mean, we've had several people, they come up, they thank us after the events, they thank us on Facebook, but we also provide lunch. So not only is our, events that we're doing free, but then they get a lunch too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one less meal that the parents have to cover throughout summertime, because normally school would take care of it, but school's on session, so.
And it was our trustees.
Yes.
They sponsored every day, the trustees and some of our other.
Whoa.
Fire chief and other city workers.
Mayor, and just provided for the lunches for them.
Can I ask you, was this something they voted on, or just something they just did out of the kindness of their heart?
Kindness of their hearts.
Shout out to the trustees and the mayor of East Alton. That is incredible.
Yes,
yeah,
they are great.
It helped a lot.
They are big supporters of almost everything we have.
In media and people in life right now, we always like to look at the government, at any government, and kind of criticize. But let's give some props there. I mean, how many trustees and aldermen do you know that are willing to drop the pocketbook open and make sure you can do these things?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we made sure to thank them, every day, and make sure we shouted out on Facebook, so that way they knew, we really appreciated the help.
Well, you got, and we've talked about this before too, Robin. With you being a smaller community, you don't get the typical funding that
other communities get, and that's how you make it work. I mean, that's community and work right there.
Yeah.
That puts a smile on my face. Look at that.
Well, I think one of our biggest camp days was the animal critters.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what
Cowboy
Treehouse?
critters.
Was that what Treehouse?
No, this was with Cowboy Critters, they were called. And we had over 400 people come through.
Yes.
And it was a hot day.
Very hot. Very hot.
Did everything we could to keep everybody as cool as we could, and it was still very successful, and just overly repeating how much fun they had.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And now, what's the next upcoming project?
Ooh, the next thing, we have our back to school event that's coming back. We do that for the Village of East. You have to be an East Alton resident or attend the East Alton School District. And we usually do over 200 kids. And I chair that, and that is something that the village sponsors us. And we are it takes about 80 volunteers to do it that day, but these children get 3 new outfits, brand new outfits, brand new shoes, hygiene bag, school supplies. They get I've got 8 barbers and beauticians lined up for us for haircuts. We also give them, socks, underwear. And at the very end, when they're all done, they also get lunch that day, and they'll be able to go out and have some fun with the bounce house and snow cones and such.
See, I just think that is so cool. I mean, I really do. Especially those little things, and even though it seems it's not, we aren't giving away 10 grand.
Right.
That is invaluable because everyone has the opportunity to feel fresh in their new shoes or new outfit and have their new haircut and make school fun. Make that first day of school exciting.
That is what we're trying to do. Number one, it does help the parents financially, but number two, these kids are going to feel great going back to school. And we have a great relationship with the school district of East Alton.
Yeah.
And they coincide with this by coming and helping volunteer that day too. And it's great. The kids get to see them again.
It's just amazing.
It is. It's just a wonderful, wonderful time. And we strictly work on donations for this all year long.
Do you accept donations currently?
Yes,
How do we donate?
You can all monetary donations. Just go to you have to go into the Village of East Alton at the water clerk and tell them you want to donate, and they'll it'll go strictly 100% goes back into the kids and their supplies for school.
I got this live read prepared mentally.
All right.
While you're heading to the donut shop, it's right down the road.
That's
you know what I'm
exactly
saying here?
right.
You're going to go to the donut shop anyway, put 20 in the machine. Why don't you take, I don't know, $100 of what you were going to put in there, stop by, help support a child, then go to the donut shop afterwards. See, I know the geography here.
Exactly. Right now, I only have a few spots left. I got about 20 spots left for the back to school.
Wow.
So, because it fills up pretty quick.
Well, I couldn't imagine. I mean, that's definitely a go-getter event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now coming up after that, how does it fall in line?
So that's when we're going to have our soapbox derby.
Which one are we on now?
29.
Oh, I thought we were at 30. I really did.
Well, we would have, but we had to cancel one time because of the hurricane rain just came for the whole weekend, so that got canceled because of that. And the COVID. That was it. So we would have been on 31.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're 29.
So we're stuck at 29, but that's okay. It'll be good. 29 is a good number.
It is.
That's going to be on September 7th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. But we're still taking vendor applications as well, trying to get some vendors there.
Who are you looking for vendor-wise?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Crafts, food.
Yeah, if they just fill it out and make sure that, and then we'll do the approval on it and go from there. But it can be food, it can be crafts, and like she said, we can also do even kids games and things like that. The kids love that.
Yeah, anyone that makes shirts, cups. I know those are big. The Turbis cups and stuff. That's
oh
really big.
Yeah. And the one thing about this year, we're being able to do even better. Well, if you're an East Alton resident, proof of residency, it's free to register for this. And there is a criteria. You have to be 7 years old or older, 4 foot to 4 foot 9 inches, 55 to 90 pounds.
Oh, cool.
And so you register at the East Alton Parks and Rec at the Keesler Complex. But for anybody else that's non-residents, it is $4. But we were able to do that.
And race day is going to be September the 7th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Where's it located?
Berkshire Hill, dude. It's right where.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's.
Yep.
I mean, you can't. So biggest hill in East Alton, I think.
If you miss it, come and find me.
Yeah.
And now, what day was the back to school giveaway on?
Now that one's in 2 weeks. That's August 3rd.
I forgot to. At what time?
They have to pre-register
pre-register
and online, and they just go to our Sign-Upville, East Alton, back to school, and then we'll take registrations until we're full.
Really cool.
And so we try to do the best we can, take in everybody.
Now, Gabby, you showed up at an interesting time.
I did. I sure did.
I'm sure it would have been a little bit of a less stressful transition if it was maybe November or January or December. But you're in a fun part. I mean, you had summer events and programming. Now we're getting ready to start up soccer and fall and all the fun that goes with that.
Yep.
Are you getting prepared here?
Yes.
Good answer.
Good
answer.
I am. Baseball keeps being drug out because of the rain. So
man, we have gotten a lot of rain.
Oh my gosh, yes, we have. I was very thankful for the first half. We didn't have any rain, so I thought I was going to escape it, but I didn't.
It always catches up with us.
So knock on wood, this is the last week of baseball, and then my focus is going to shift to soccer.
Really cool. When's the deadline for soccer sign up?
For the Tri-City, it's August 2nd. And then that's the one with us, Woodrow and Roxana.
Wow.
We might extend that because school, is going to start. So we might extend it. But right now it is August 2nd. And then for soccer tots, 3, 4, and 5, it's August 30th.
August 2nd is 10 days away. That is amazing to me. That is amazing to me.
It's coming up quick.
It's this summer, I always say summer flies by, but this one has just been a darn whirlwind.
Yes, it has. It really has.
I'm ready. I'm ready for like 2 weeks and nothing happening,
I know.
Yes.
Now, what's the requirements for the Tri-City for soccer sign-up, just so we can go over those?
Tri-City, they have to be, it's ages 5 through 13.
Okay.
And then we're going to divide it up between Roxana takes age groups, Woodriver takes age groups, then we take age groups. Normally we take the littler kids.
And I don't, and this is something I just thought of just because of just asking for soccer. Has there been any conversation with, the city of Alton? Have you had any conversations about their park and rec program maybe adapting? Because people are kind of curious about what's going to happen in Alton for their park and rec. Has there been any talk about that with you guys?
Not really.
Yet.
Okay.
I can foresee maybe.
I've talked to Lindsay that works there.
Yeah.
They're really hoping August they're gonna hopefully get back up, something, because they also are gonna have soccer coming up. So she said hopefully in August sometime they'll get word, but they still have to. She's called it the geological experts.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be giving them the okay for if they open or not.
Well, not on those turf fields anyway.
Right.
But it's interesting because my grandpa actually started park and rec soccer in the Madison County area in 1971. That was his. And so I just hearing that, you guys have such a really good working relationship in this Tri-City Soccer League that it just kind of was one that made sense to ask the question because you guys have a really cool thing going with that.
Yeah. And that was something I was going to wait till August to see whether they can or can't. If they can't, I was going to open up to her, hey, if you want to add your kids to ours, maybe see if they want to do that. Because right now, their adult league is playing on our fields because they didn't have a place to play on Thursday night. So their adult league is going to start playing on our fields. So we just wanted to make sure they had that.
That's exactly right.
Coming together and being a good neighbor. I like it. What a time to come into town, Gabby, or come into this position.
It's been a first year, that's for sure.
And now, are you an East Alton resident? Have you been?
I am. I've been there for a year now. But I lived in South Roxana before that my whole life, so I knew, East Alton and everything. But finally got to move there, and then, then later on the job opened up, and I think everything happens for a reason. So I was meant to be in East Alton.
There you go.
Exactly.
Good answers all the way around today. Well, also coming down the pipeline, we got soccer tots. We already talked Tri-City. Let's talk about the fall festival. Food trucks are going to be there. This is the second annual, correct?
Yes, it is. And this one is the mayor's one who wanted to put this together last year, and we did. And so we got together again for this year, and we have added so much
Hold
more.
on here. Let me peek this. Do you see this sheet of folks on here? I was trying to read some of the people that were going to be there, but I got kind of nauseous looking at this one.
We have already got all our food trucks already signed up and ready to go. Yes.
Was last year the event that had like 500 people at it?
Yes.
That was huge.
We had over 500 people that attended last year.
Well, Dan Brandon and I were talking about it because I told him that you guys had come on, so he said, I'm going to go out there and take pictures. And I called him and said, well, did it go okay? He goes, okay, that's the most people I've seen at an East Alton event before.
It was. I never seen so many people. And this year we've added so much more. Of course we did. But we have all our listing. We have all our trucks for our food, right?
Yep.
They're doing a cornhole tournament.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They can actually, I believe, get online. All this information's on there, or it's getting ready to go online. Okay. Of course, we have DJ Kirsten Gray. Everybody knows. Kirsten, and he does all our music and announcements in the what's going on in the park and this and that. We're also going to be doing a classic car cruise in. And so
is that new this year?
It
yes,
is.
it's the dash plaque.
Oh,
and
cool.
so they'll be able to first 75 receive a dash plaque. So we are doing that. And then this year our kids zone is built up a little bit bigger. We'll have the bounce houses. We have family activities. We have face painting. We also got Foamsy going to be there. And so
is that an East Alton business too? Foamsy, or are they right outside? I always get confused.
They don't live in East Alton, but I know one of them works in East Alton.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but
because I always get always that jigsaw.
The owners, the wife of it, she's like one of my daughters.
She is well, they are great people.
Yes,
I've had them on the show before.
Oh yeah, they're great people. She grew up in my house.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, she lived at my house like every summer and went on vacations with us. So great people, but. They're going to be able to really boost that kid zone. We had them come for our Kids at the Park Day we did earlier in May, and that was
a huge hit.
Oh, that was great.
My goodness.
Is it easy to clean up? I always wondered that question.
It wasn't bad at all.
I'll be damned.
Yeah,
it
Wow.
really wasn't. And the kids loved it. I mean, they
gosh.
just couldn't keep them away.
I mean, they were soaked. I mean, they came out looking like the Michelin Man with all the bubbles on them.
So, this one's going to be on Sunday, October 6th, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's going to be down at Van Prater Park.
What's it? What do these events mean to you in the city or to the village too? I mean, I hate to ask such a topical question, but it's an important one.
This is something the mayor is very, very big about doing for the people in the community, having things for the kids and the families, and where it's not. Most of the things like we are able to do without cost because we don't want to gouge everybody. We want to do for them. And so that's one of his big things. But a lot of people had been asking about the food truck. And so he said this is something he really wanted to do. And obviously it was very well welcomed.
That was huge.
So again, and one of the things that we'll have when it gets closer to Christmas, we'll come and talk to you about our night of Christmas.
Oh yeah, well that's a big one too.
That one's a big one, and that is also free to the community of the kids and the families, and so.
Well, and honestly, I gotta ask you this: do putting these events on make it easier for the city to work together in other projects?
Oh, and I was gonna say our. Trustees, mayor, all the village clerk, fire chief, police chief. We can go right down the list of all of them. Street department, boy, they're big help.
Yes.
And just we work together.
Yeah.
And working together is what makes it possible for everyone else. And they're great to work with, and they are great supporters and really help a lot. Like the meals that we have, we just had a zip code day.
That's right.
Yes,
I saw that. Yep.
And that was paid by, all the food was paid by the mayor and the trustees and all the other ones that I mentioned. And they gave toward that to help pay for the food and the snow cones. And we did like 400 snow cones.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Oh, yes, we did. That's what I did all day, Robin and I.
We had served from here to here.
We did.
We did. That was a great day,
It was.
So, but just being able to do things for them and keeping our community, doing things for them as a family. We raised 6 kids, so that was,
Well,
I know how tough that can be.
exactly. I mean, you are 100% right. And by the way, I didn't tell you, my brother's now a firefighter at East Alton.
Oh, what's your
John Wickenhauser. I forgot to tell you that.
I told
Yeah,
him
he's
the
excited.
other day.
He's been doing
great.
good. I'm proud of him over
Yay.
there.
Oh,
But you know, I just think what you guys do is so cool because doing events like this and not making but having the municipal leaders work together in various outlets, whether it's by donations or rallying the troops and making sure people know.
Right.
To me, it's got to help when those serious situations come in because you're so used to working together already that it becomes less contentious. It's just a
Yes.
team. I don't know.
It is a team. It is a team. And I'll tell you what, that's been there from when we first started with just doing the soapbox race, because it takes the city to do this.
Yeah.
And we've got that down to a fine art.
Well, we're down to about a minute left.
Okay.
Let's go through the run-up of events. What's first, what's second, and who's on third?
All right. First thing is back to school in 2 weeks on August 3rd, then followed by
Soapbox, which is going to be September 7th.
Okay.
And then followed by the food truck, which is October 6th. And then in between is soccer and my senior citizens things that we do.
What's coming up?
I've got right now, what we got coming up is more for the fall, which is October, November, December.
Oh, we'll talk about that
Yes.
then when it's time.
Sounds great.
We are out of time on this Monday morning, but I'll see you back here live on a Tuesday. Until then, all of you have fun today. Go outside. It's beautiful. I mean, this is the end of July, and we aren't even touching 80. Go enjoy it. And also, while you go enjoy it, just do me a favor and try your best to stay out of jail.